Well, hello everyone, it's Rose, and I am here with the Reclining Mermaid, which is going to be, or the Mermaid Reclining. I always say Mermaid first because that way I can keep them in alphabetical order in my stash. So this is Mermaid Reclining. It is a diamond painting of a Viktor Nizovtsev print, or painting, and it is my Christmas gift to my daughter. I finished doing the diamond painting a little while ago. So up in the top right-hand corner, you will find a link to the post-completion review for this diamond painting. And that will have a link to the unboxing video. So this is a 90 by 60 square diamond painting, and I absolutely loved doing it. So I fell in love with the image and ordered it at Christmas last year. Well, not at Christmas, but for for the 11/11 sale last year from the Home Fund Diamond Painting store. And unfortunately, the diamond painting never got to me because of the Canada Post strike, and I never got my money back, so I was all in a huff about that for a while, and then I just decided I'll order the diamond painting from somewhere else. So I did. And I ordered it as a custom. And so I got it, and I drilled it, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. So the first thing that I always do before I start sealing a diamond painting, which is what we're going to do today, is I beat the heck out of it with my rolling pin. No, that's not what I do. The first thing I do actually is I hold it up so that light from a window or some other light source, it could be a lamp, it could be, somebody holding a phone with the flashlight on the other side. Anyway, it could be anything. You just hold it up so that you can see if there are any holes. Those holes are missing drills. And you look at it through the back of the diamond painting because that way you can see the gaps. And I found 2 gaps because I've been moving this in and out of the bedroom and stuff like that. It gets, like, I haven't been all that careful with it. And so I just placed those 2 diamonds, which is why I have my spare drills here. When I'm finished sealing it, I'll put the spare drills away. This is the second diamond. No, this is actually the third diamond painting that I'm sealing today. I recorded the sealing of one of them, but not the second one. But I do want to do this one because it's a big one, and I'm using a slightly different kind of polyurethane. So the first thing I do is make sure that the diamond painting is nice and flat, and that the drills have been pushed down again just before I start the sealing process. So I rolled this at various times. I rolled it as I finished each section. I would roll it, and then when I finished the whole thing, I rolled it. And I was down on the floor. I put it down on the floor, and I put all of my weight behind it. And it's been stored for the last, I'd say, 2 weeks or so, flat on the floor in my guest room with all of my other completed diamond paintings on top of it to weigh it down. Well, the ones that I haven't given away yet. So that is to help the diamonds adhere as much as possible to the canvas if there were any that were not beautifully adhered. Now there are a few little pieces of like cat hair and dog hair on here. I'll get that with a brush in just a moment. And so there we go. So I'm just right now, those diamonds are pretty well adhered. It's only if some of them have started to come up at all that I'm doing this. It can happen. I mean, these were pretty good drills. They weren't perfect, but they were pretty good drills. And as I'm running my hand along the diamond painting, it feels nice and smooth. So that's great. Yeah, that's great. There are very, very few diamonds that I can see that are not the same height as the others. And where there is a slight discrepancy in the height, it's so minor, like I notice it because I'm obsessive that way, but nobody else is going to notice it. My daughter's not going to notice it. It'll be fine. Okay, so I don't want the glue down there. So today, what we're going to do, I'm just going to take, where's my toothbrush? I thought I had a toothbrush. Oh, I did. I put it away. Okay, so I'm just going to take my toothbrush and brush to get rid of any loose hair. I've already brushed it to get rid of loose wax and things like that, or excess wax that was between the diamonds. So right now, all I'm doing is just trying to get rid of any cat hair or dog hair that might have gotten on this just because it moved through my apartment. Okay. There we go. I'm not too fussed about it because anything that does remain on there can be brushed away when it's dry after the sealant has dried. All right, so this is the sealant that I'm going to be using today. This is Varathane Diamond Wood Finish, water-based, interior polyurethane, and it is crystal clear. That's really important if you don't want, because it says underneath crystal clear, I'm not sure if that's going to be clear or not, but it says non-yellowing. You can buy this stuff at any hardware store or on Amazon. Okay, so I always read the instructions first. I need my glasses. All right. Let's see. Provides protection for your wood that is diamond hard, diamond clear, and diamond beautiful. Varathane Premium Interior Diamond Wood Finish is specifically developed to enhance the natural beauty of wood while providing the best scratch and stain resistance available. Blah, blah, blah. It is ideal for all interior projects such as furniture, doors, cabinets, moldings, toys, and paneling. Fast drying, which is important. Over twice as durable as traditional wood finishes. Varathane Premium, blah, 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 is crystal clear, virtually odorless. That'll be interesting to check. And provides for easy water cleanup. And that's important because if your diamond painting is in a place where it just collects dust, and what doesn't collect dust if you don't have it behind glass, with this stuff on it, you can actually just use a damp cloth and wipe your diamond painting off, and it's good. It'll be good for another year without being dusted. I mean, you can dust it every week if you want, but I don't do that. I don't know who does. Anyway, so previously finished surfaces. This is not. Stained or painted wood. Unfinished surface preparation, not recommended for linoleum, vinyl, or glazed tiles and metal. And then it says application tips. Product appears milky when wet, but dries to crystal clear finish. That's important. Use adequate ventilation at all times. And you can't do it in really cold weather. To prevent bubbles in the finish, do not overbrush, shake, or apply with a roller. Use care when applying over white or pastel paints or stains, as discoloration may occur. Okay, it says do not shake. Stir thoroughly before and during use. Do not shake. Shaking will create bubbles in the finish. Apply finish using a good quality synthetic bristle brush, foam brush, or applicator. Allow finish to dry minimum of 2 to 3 hours before recoating. All right. A minimum of 3 coats is recommended, but that's for wood. So I'm not going to be too fussed about that. Okay, So the important thing is do not shake the can. Those of you who watched me when I did, okay, so I'm not going to shake the can, but what I am going to do is roll the can. Gently, very gently. I'm going to roll the can. And that's just to move things around a little bit and start the stirring process. Very gentle, there's no shaking, I'm not going to make any bubbles. There we go. All right. Now, those of you who watched me do the Music in the Fall post-completion review and sealing video saw that I shook the can of Minwax, which I was finishing off. And I didn't notice that there were any bubbles. Maybe there were. I don't know. Looked fine to me. So I'm not too fussed about that. But I'm not going to court trouble that I don't need to court. So here we go. Always use gloves, rubber gloves, unless you like the feeling of polyurethane sticking to your hands and your hands sticking to everything with polyurethane. All right. Now, okay, so this is milky white inside, which is different from what I'm used to because the Minwax was actually clear. So I'm using my tongue depressor that I got from my doctor's office ages ago. You can use, chopsticks. You can use whatever you've got handy to stir this stuff up. If you've got a plastic spoon. If you don't have like one of those paint stirrers, then anything else you've got is good. All right. So this is actually interesting because since it's white, it's this milky color, we'll be able to see where we're putting it, which is not necessarily the case with the Minwax because it was so clear and it dried so clear. Whoops. All right, that's not good. You couldn't really see where you would put it or where you would brushed it. So I'm just going to put a little bit in here, 4 spoons, and I'm just using a wonton soup spoon. All right, move this carefully aside. And I've got the brush that I was using for the other 2 diamond paintings that I was working on earlier today. You want to be careful because you don't want to cause bubbles by being too aggressive in dipping your brush. Then I'm just going to start at the top. And I'm going to brush it on as evenly as I can. You don't want to have a lot of this stuff on your diamond painting because the idea is not to give it like a glass-like coating. You can do that if you want. You can put many coats on and get like a glass-like coating. And that's actually something I'm going to demonstrate in another video because I've decided to try and make floor cloths out of some of my diamond paintings because I don't have enough space in my house. Like I live in a condo. It's 1,100 it's about 1,100 square feet, a little over, and it's got a lot of furniture in it. And I don't have that much wall space because there's a lot of windows. And so because I don't have a ton of wall space, I need to be creative in how I show my diamond paintings. So what I'm actually thinking of doing is using a floor cloth approach to sealing a diamond painting so that then it can be used as a beautiful carpet. Well, not carpet, but floor cloth, essentially. And you could even put a whole bunch of them together to cover larger areas. It's a little odd, but so am I. So that's what I'm going to do. Because I've got all of my diamond paintings put away in my folders, the ones that I haven't already given away, but I have not put any of them up. Not a single one of my diamond paintings is up in my condo yet. I don't know why. I have no problem getting ones ready to give away, but when it comes to the ones that I've done for myself, or that I plan to keep for myself and put up, I can't be bothered to seal and frame them. Partly because I don't love the idea of having to move furniture out of the way to get at the walls that I want to put it up on. And I like the stuff that I've got up on my walls already, where I have stuff up on my walls. So I don't necessarily want to be removing stuff from my walls to put up diamond paintings. It's a conundrum. So I was thinking doing floor cloths would actually be a great way to show them off. And it would be a great way to show them off. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, if you don't know what a floor cloth is, look it up. It's got a great tradition. And I don't know how this will work for this, but I figure, what the heck? Oops. And there's bristles coming off my brush, so I'll have to pick those off at the end. This is why they tell you to use a essentially a non-organic bristle. Now, it's hard for me to tell exactly how much I'm putting on here because it does seem to disappear. And that's good because I want it in between the cracks. I don't necessarily want it on the surface. So I think my brushing is pushing it down in between the cracks. And I don't want it too thick, in part because I'm going to have to roll this up to get it to my daughter in Kitchener. Well, actually, I'm going to London for Christmas, and we'll be exchanging gifts in London. London, Ontario, for those of you who haven't heard my saga of being in London earlier this year. Anyway, I'm going to London for Christmas. And actually next week, a week from tomorrow, I'm going. And so I'll frame it when I get there. So in the meantime, I have to roll it up. So I don't want this to be too thick, because if it's too thick, I won't be able to roll it nicely. It'll be too stiff. But too stiff is not a good thing. Now I am hoping that this crystal clear drying, okay, I need a little bit more. I am hoping that this crystal clear drying will mean that it'll still sparkle like crazy. I expect it will. And I don't know where I've been and where I haven't. Yeah, So I don't want it to be so stiff that I can't roll it for travel. That's what I was, I think, in the middle of saying before I got distracted by having to pour more Varathane. All right. And this stuff is, like, it's about the consistency of, I don't know, it's like the consistency of a coffee creamer. So a little thicker than water or milk, but not super, super thick like glue. All right. And I don't want so much that when I lie it down to dry, it's going to pool. Because I did make the mistake with one of my diamond paintings of overdoing the amount of sealant that I put on it in the first coat, because I've only ever done one coat of sealant for any of my diamond paintings. I just want enough that it gets down in between the drills and holds them in place. That's the only reason I seal, because I don't like the effect of glass over top of my diamond paintings. Some people like the glass, that's fine, I don't. And last year I did another diamond painting for my daughter for Christmas, or her birthday. Christmas? I can't remember, I think it was Christmas. Anyway, I did a diamond painting for her for Christmas, no, for her birthday. And I did frame it behind glass. And she doesn't like the glass. So she specifically asked me this year not to make it framed with glass. So that's another reason that I want to be careful to do a diamond. Like, I need to seal it. The one I did for her last year, I only sealed with Tombow as I went, because again, I had popping drills on it. That was the Golden Dragon. Wow, it is fast drying. I can feel the tackiness up there. When I ran my brush across it, I could feel where it was tacky already. Anyway, so I didn't seal it with polyurethane or Mod Podge or anything like that. It was just with the aqua glue to hold the drills down. And she doesn't like the reflection that she gets off the glass. So I suppose if you were to get glare-free or anti-glare glass for a frame job, I guess that would probably look nice. But I want to do it without any glass this time. And I have my frame, and I'm just not going to use the glass, that's all. There's another hair. I'm going to need more. And I'm using both the broad end of the brush and the narrow end of the brush to sort of push the sealant into drills on the other side. Okay, I need some more. I really do want to keep a consistent thickness of cover on this. It's not going to be perfect. Nothing is. So I'm not going to fuss about it not being perfect. I'm just going to do my best, which is all any of us can do, right? I think this is going to turn out nice. Still looking very sparkly. And again, the idea is not with this, with the floor cloth it will be to cover not just, not just to seal the diamonds into place, which is primarily why I'm doing this, because I don't know how long the adhesive will last. I only started diamond painting about a year and 3-4 months ago. And so none of my diamond paintings are more than about a year and 3 months old. And so I don't know how long this adhesive is going to last. I mean, I've read some sites that say their adhesive is guaranteed for, 15 years. Well, 15 years it's a good long time, but it's not forever. And so you never know what could happen to something, but I'm figuring by using polyurethane or Varathane, I can add another 15 or 20 years to the life expectancy of the stickiness of the adhesive that is on the diamond paintings. And that's, I think, good enough for me. And like I said, it will also make the diamond painting that much easier to clean. See, I want to get, there's a little tiny gap here, and I just want to get the polyurethane down into there. But as I said, when I was doing the sealing on the Mermaid, no, I didn't videotape the Mermaid because I think it's a copyrighted image. When I was doing the sealing on Music in the Fall, the Paint with Diamonds canvas, I said you don't want to get the canvas too wet with the sealant, because then that could loosen the drills, right? You're getting liquid onto the adhesive, and there could be a chemical reaction that actually loosens the drills if that adhesive gets down onto between the adhesive and the drills before the sealant is dry. So I want to be really careful that I'm not overdoing the amount of sealant that I'm putting on here. A little dab will do ya. There we go. And I can see the milkiness where the largest blob of the polyurethane is going down, and so what I'm trying to do is just brush it through to move along the rows of drills so that it's okay. The paintbrush has definitely seen better days. The bristles are coming out. All right. Now, I did try to use a foam brush to seal a largish diamond painting at one point, and I will not be doing that again because the foam, because the foam rubs against the diamonds, it actually starts to break down, and you get little bits of foam that get stuck to your diamond painting, which you then have to clean off, which is not fun. See, I don't remember. See, I can see some milky color here, or milk. It's not color, it's kind of milkiness in between the drills, and I'm thinking I didn't realize I had sealed there. So I probably should have some sort of a grid that I would use to keep track of where I have and have not sealed. See, I can see here some milkiness, and here some milkiness. Okay. A little bit more. Just going to go 1 spoonful at a time for a little while because I don't need to be pouring out more than necessary. Now I do want to help seal the drills on the edge into place. So that's why I put a fair amount towards the edges because I want these drills very well sealed down. Okay, there I can see some milkiness again. Just putting a little bit on the brush. Doesn't have to be heavy. But then if you are just putting a teeny tiny bit down on the brush at a time, well, you're going to have to dip your brush more often. And I really don't want pools of this stuff in between my, like on my diamond painting, because that, I think, will affect the sparkle, and it will also just affect the look of this thing. So as much as possible, I want it to look like naked diamonds. There's a bunch of paintbrush fibers, but I'll get some tweezers and tweeze off those bits of bristle. There we go. Almost done. So this actually has very little odor to it. The Minwax had a lot more odor to it than this. This is almost odor-free. And the Minwax will be stinking up my apartment for a couple of days. It doesn't bother me, but it does bother a lot of other people, so that's why I'm telling you. And this, yeah, the smell is nowhere near as strong as the Minwax. All right. Here we go. So now I just want to make sure that I do have a coating on everything. So I'm just going to brush up and down. There we go. I think this is going to look fantastic. Still looking quite sparkly. It'll be more sparkly when the Varathane has dried. So I think this is a good medium to use as a sealant. But we'll have a better sense when it's dry. So it did say to leave it to dry for at least 2 to 3 hours. I don't plan on putting another coat on, so I'll just leave it overnight. And what I'm doing is I'm going to put it on my bathroom floor, my spare bathroom floor. And because it's too big, well, I've got 2 other diamond paintings drying in the spare bathroom shower. So I'll just put this on the floor. It'll be nice and flat. I'll close the door, keep the cat and the dog out of there so that there won't be any more hair or stuff that gets stuck to it. There we go. That's it. All right. So this brush is going to go in the garbage after I do my next little thing, which is to seal the bottom half of a diamond painting that I sealed the top half with white, watered down white glue. The bottom half I'm going to seal with this stuff, and then we're going to compare the top and the bottom in another video. Okay, everybody, I'm going to take you out of the cradle as soon as I get this glove off. There. Okay, so those gloves will go in the garbage in a moment too. Now, okay, everybody, so here's the Mermaid now from counter height. And as you can see, you can't really see any pools of Varathane. You can see fibers from the bristle of the brush, and I'll just quickly get rid of those in a moment. I want to do it quickly because I don't want to let them dry onto the canvas. But you can still see the sparkle. Now this is, it's tacky dry at this point. It didn't take long at all. It really is very fast drying. So yeah, that's it. That's my Mermaid. Well, it's not going to be mine for much longer. But yeah, that is the Mermaid Reclining, all nice and sealed. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me messages down below, leave me comments. You can give this video a like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, now's a good time to do it. And I want to thank all of my patrons for your financial support to my channel. I really appreciate your $2 a month. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody, take care. Bye-bye.